Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2. Empire facing off against Virtus Pro. This is StarLadder Season 4, the LAN Finals. I believe the last North American European event of the year, and we're really cutting it close to the end of that year. These teams playing right around the holiday season. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit. I'm joined here today by none other than Blitz Dota. How you doing, Blitz?
Pretty good, as I'm looking at the bans and picks, and it actually looks like the exact same kind of setup from last game. The bans were the exact same. The first pick was the same as well, and Magnus is also picked up first by Team Empire.
Well, I don't know about the exact same, because we're seeing Magnus and Darkseer on the same team, and this normally comes with a Sven. There is a Batrider to try and control him. This is any sort of hero that just does lots of damage in a small area, whether it's a Luna, whether it's a Sven. I mean, anything like that is just going to be so devastating in the mid game. You better have a good plan to give these two heroes away.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Empire is able to execute the mag a little cleaner, but we'll see as they give up the Batrider. So I think Scandal's kind of comfortable playing against it, as I think they fear the Naix more of Airman, which is kind of his premier pick. But finally, we see some differentiation as Virtus Pro picks up the Bounty Hunter again. So we see 4 heroes from last game picked in the first 4, but then Shadow Demon picked up early because I think Virtus Pro doesn't want to get another tier 2 support hero like Lina again. Like Team Empire did a really good job of that last time, just banning out all the really good supports early.
Yeah, I did kind of feel like they needed something like the Lina, though, just because there was going to be that mid-game timing push with the Luna and the Darkseer with the quick mech, and Shadow Demon doesn't do much against that. So if you're going to pick Shadow Demon, you have to have a good start in the laning stage if you're up against that kind of push lineup. Now, will we see it? Not clear yet. Empire, they've got the big team fight. Do they go here? I assume they go for their carry now, but no, they want the Jakiro. And we have seen these two heroes have been best friends. Now, Jakiro, I believe, received a slight nerf in the latest patch. Ice Path now does 25 damage at level 1, scaling up to 100. Instead of 100 at all levels, which frankly was quite a bit broken. But he's still Jakiro with that really strong AoE stun. Vacuum into Ice Path, into Macro Pyre. This is a disgusting team fight. I think that's the simpler way to put it.
Yep, and Jakiro's still a really good support. He's really tanky. He's got good team fight, good team presence. He has the tower pushing ability with Liquid Fire as well, so all in all, just a good support. I think Empire doesn't want to be pigeonholed into picking a support that they don't want to either, as the 3-ban system now kind of makes it so that if Virtus Pro sees weakness in that, then they can just kind of ban out all the support heroes immediately and leave Empire with nothing. So I really like the fact that they picked it there, because there are a lot of carry options open right now for Empire. There's still Gyro. Sven is a little less popular nowadays, but he still exists as an option, and obviously the Luna pick as well is still popular. Void, so it's not as big as the fact that there are so little like really good support heroes left.
That's true, and you know, whenever you have a Magnus, pretty much any melee hero is a carry hero because you've got Empower to work with. So we'll see. It looks like the one thing I guess that Virtus Pro should have going in their favor is the lanes seem fairly obvious. Mag and Darkseer are going to get those 2 solos. Probably a Mag mid and then the Darkseer on the side lane. And then it just comes down to most likely some sort of tri-lane with the Jakiro. And I expect to see either that or a jungle plus a dual lane. And it looks like that's what Virtus Pro is expecting. Banning out, well, a teamfight hero, but also a jungler in the Enigma. Now the Gyrocopter, and we talked about how he can combo with Vacuum, but with all the extra stuns in the AoE that Empire has to work with, I think that's a smart ban. The problem is, like you said, there's a lot of carries. You can't ban them all, but probably Gyrocopter and Sven, the two that you'd be most worried about with this amount of AoE.
Yeah, and also Empire's going to ban out Luna just because Virtus Pro has the first pick here, so I think they're a little worried that VP will pick it up immediately. And I don't think that Team Empire will actually go get an offensive tri-lane going, especially against the kind of lineup that they have. Shadow Demon's just really good against working against tri-lanes, because let's say you go on somebody and it isn't the Shadow Demon, then he just disrupts and turns the fight around.
Yeah, that's always something to be worried about. And, you know, they could also just throw the Bounty Hunter down there if there's an offensive tri-lane. If they want to just play mind games, they can, you know, put the Batrider mid, or in the offlane send someone else mid, and they don't have to fight 3v3 anyway. So it seems like a... Well, it's a little bit risky, but then again, it's Empire. So they do love to tri-lane, even when it seems maybe like it's not ideal. We'll see what they do, but I don't know what Virtus Pro... I feel like there's too much pressure right now on their laning stage. And I'm just... my other concern for this team is they're up against a lot of AoE. They're up against a lot of mid-game pushing and, you know, just kind of forcing the issue power. They need a quick mech. They need those team fight items up, but who's going to build them? Batrider, Bounty Hunter, Shadow Demon. These are not normally heroes that get an early mech. Normally you see the blink on the Batrider, and nobody else likely to get a lot of farm, and then that just makes them very susceptible to the 5v5 clashes, which Empire are going to look to force later on.
Yeah, I think Empire's just going to, as soon as they get like any sort of item up on the Darkseer, or any sort of teamfight item in general, they're going to look to just kind of completely force fights repeatedly, as Bounty Hunter doesn't really do anything. And if you notice, a weakness in Virtus Pro's lineup is the fact that they have nothing to stop pushes at all.
Yeah.
Like, I guess they can Firefly, but the cooldown is so long. Shadow Demon can kind of cast poison, but if it's a support Shadow Demon, then he's most likely not going to have more than a level or two in it. So I'm looking to see if they'll pick up any sort of support that can spam out a wave, or maybe a carry that can farm out from a decent distance. Like, I'd like to see a hero like Coddle picked up for Virtus Pro, just so they don't really have to concern themselves with getting into fights that aren't ideal by towers.
If they do that, though, it just makes it... I mean, you're right. They need something to help discourage the pushing. The problem is if you pick up a hero like Coddle, then you really have nothing to teamfight with. I mean, Illuminate is a very annoying to push against. It can be a decent teamfight ability in the early to mid game, but once this goes to like the 20-25 minute mark, we have probably at least a mech, maybe a pipe as well up on the Darkseer. You've got the blink on the Magnus. Then there's just no way to fight at that point. I mean... So I feel like you said, they need something like that, but they're also backed into a corner, because if they pick it up, it really limits their ability to take fights. And when you have Bounty and Bat, you want to take fights.
Yep, completely agree. But that's kind of what hurt them the last game. Earthshaker, a hero like Earthshaker and both Lina, they have limited amounts of spamming because it just takes them so much mana to do it. Ooh. So they need something, though, to like clear out.
I kind of like this, actually. Because I feel like they've got to have, some element of spreading the map and split pushing, and Prophet's a good hero to do that with. But again, he is a hero that's not going to offer you much if you're not ahead come the mid game. But Bounty, Bat, Prophet, I mean, they've got some good ganky potential. Ooh, Weaver, the final choice. What do you make of this?
I actually really like the Weaver pick here. Empire, if he can kind of avoid the mag and keep his distance, Empire lacks a lot of ability to just single focus CC a hero like Weaver down, especially since they already have to worry about a bounty, locking down the Bounty Hunter. But I kind of like what VP's going for here. They're kind of going for let's go for broke, try to get a bunch of kills with Bounty Hunter and Nature's Prophet, like running around the map together, and Batrider just kind of disrupts fights. So not kind of backing off of that aggressive playstyle. Like, last game could have gone either way at a certain point, but Empire was just a little bit better, and they had a bit more style and flash in their play. So
yeah, they were a little bit. It felt like a little bit more confident overall. Just when they saw an opening, I mean, it's Funnick. he's just gonna go for it. Whereas for VP, it felt like maybe a slight case of nerves, or just a few miscommunications cost them in the end there. I agree with you. I think this is the way to go for VP. I don't think they really had another option at this point. Wow, Empire gets the Spectre. This is something they ran yesterday, I believe, with success. I think it was Empire who did that. But new Spectre, only real change. He keeps all the illusions from Haunt. Even this is from 6.77, which the tournament is using, by the way. For anyone who's wondering, Spectre's Haunt, I believe, at all levels, your illusions stay even if you actually reality into the fight. So does a little bit more in team fights, but this is a 4 melee lineup. This is not really the strongest lineup in the laning phase, but very annoying come mid game. Are they too farm dependent?
I think that they're really not. The only item that Scandal really needs to do anything is a Blink Dagger. Funnick really just needs a mech to team fight, and Spectre does require a bit of farm, but especially with the new Haunt and I think his what is that spell called? I never see this hero played. So
Desolate.
Yeah, the Desolate was helped a little bit, right? Because there was a bug with neutral creeps, I think.
Oh, where they would disable it, you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. So in general, I like this lineup. Loda actually said on our last episode of Mad that he thought Spectre was going to kind of come back full force into Dota, and I actually like the hero in general. You can push out waves, come to team fights really, really, really late, and apply pressure on other lanes. So I'm actually really excited to see the way that they kind of play here, but the hero is kind of limited by the fact that there is a Furion in the map, so he can kind of do the same thing, but with a little less items.
Yeah, you can do the same thing, and you can also do it earlier, where Spectre, even when you hit level 6, you might be able to find a kill here or there, but you're not solo killing anyone, you're not pushing the tower down early. Well, before we talk more about this very curious turn of events with the picks, let's introduce the players. It's going to be a support Sven this time. Silent going to be reprising his role as that support hero. The Sven this time around. Scandal going solo mid as the Mag will be rushing the bottle. Goblak on the support Jakiro. No money for him. They do have sentries, though, on the Sven already. Blow Your Brain going to be playing that Spectre. So off-lane Darkseer to be handled by Funnick. Solo mid Mag. Two very strong heroes as far as the melee solos go. And then a pretty decent tri-lane. And it looks like Virtus Pro, I wonder if they'll just abandon that top lane. It's something we've seen other teams do. But for the moment, not really sure. KSI headed towards bottom, but now he's heading back top.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I think KSI can't actually do a whole lot top. He can actually just pull with the Nature's Call. So he can look to do that, just to bring a creep wave to himself. But he's going back a little early right now.
Yeah, and especially this is where the changes to Ice Path really do make a difference. Like those Treants with the 100 damage on Ice Path, you might be able to kill the first set of pulling Treants very easily. Now, you're going to be a little bit trickier. I think they can bring them down, potentially. Although, I don't know if these were summoned close enough to the lane. They may despawn before he actually gets the full pull-off. We'll find out soon. But over... Who did I introduce first? I introduced Empire. Over on the side of Virtus Pro, we have NS playing the Shadow Demon. Top lane, it's going to be that solo Suicide Lane Bounty Hunter. So not the Prophet. Prophet will actually go into the jungle. The Treant's just trying to help pull the lane for Bounty, but he can do that himself even if the Treants fail. CRZ on the Bat Rider. Lady vs. Scandal 1v1 mid. Airman on the Weaver. And NS roaming around. This is a pretty decent lane for both heroes mid. Both of them should get some farm and levels, but I suppose a slight edge to the Bat. Yeah, an off-lane Bounty. I don't know how much he can actually do. I mean, even if he tries to pull a creep wave, there's nothing to pull. They're doing the double pulls. There aren't any wards here. And where do you go if you're Santa? I guess you do some pulling of your own.
Yeah, there isn't actually much else for him to do other than just kind of sit there and pull. Otherwise, I mean, he needs some sort of levels, though. Like, it's really... Santa's kind of like the key hero here. If they can get some early track kills off, then... I mean, they really need it, because Spectre's kind of like that Doom hero. You know, once he picks up 2 or 3 items, he becomes impossible to kill, and he becomes impossible to ignore as well. He's kind of that, we have the late game, we're going to win if this game goes on for a decent amount of time. So they need to apply pressure quickly, and it's really relying on Santa getting up some early levels.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out if he can find those openings. The lane is pushing really hard at the moment. In fact, maybe they're looking to push this, although they don't have a point in Warcry just yet. Goblak, no points in Liquid Fire, but they have a huge wave bearing down on the Tier 1 top. So either they're going to push this, or Santa's going to get a lot of levels. Didn't do anything himself to disrupt the creep wave, except for pulling his own wave.
Think so.
But it appears it was enough to cancel out or sort of negate that double pull. He'll get some experience. He hits level 2. Actually leveling rather quickly off of this. Middle lane, 8-1 on the Bat Rider, 6-2 on Mag, but with Bottle Crow, you really can't stop the Mag from farming. And they don't really have enough to kill him off before... I mean, sure, you've got the lower range Skewer, but they don't have that amazing, 1-2 double stun punch to kind of get him before he gets Skewer leveled up. So Scandal should be okay, and on the bottom lane, Funnick, level 3. Seems like Empire, they've got that scary late game, but they're also doing fine in the laning stage, so a lot of it's just going to ride on, finding some track kills, finding some openings with the Prophet in the mid game.
Yeah, the issue with having a hero like Prophet just jungle right now is that they can't actually force Funnick out of the lane. He can just kind of soak up levels. Weaver and Shadow Demon have limited offensive potential against a hero like Darkseer. Funnick's not stupid enough, I think, to cast Surge before the disruption goes off, so he should be fine there. He actually Ion Shells himself. Like, that's how indifferent he is to this lane.
Yeah, normally you'd Ion Shell the creeps and just sort of sit back, collect the experience, but he doesn't care. Like you said, unless he wastes Disruption, there's just no way to kill him.
Yeah, and a really neat thing they did here is that they pulled him a bunch of tangos so that he could kind of accomplish this and get farm off early. If you notice, the Jakiro only has 3 branches, but he was perfectly content doing that as long as Blow's getting any sort of farm out on the way.
Well, what does he need regen for, right? Because there's no pressure in this top lane.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a smart thing to do to pull it all to the Darkseer, who's actually going to see some pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, bottom lane, they do... Oh, no, sorry, it's mid. Solo kill from Mag onto CRZ, the Bat Rider. Now they're going to look to counter-initiate bottom lane. They do get Funnick. Prophet rotates in for that. So they kill off Funnick, but Scandal gets what for me is the more important kill. Not only the first blood, but also that 1v1 kill. This is a lane that Bat Rider should have the slight edge in. Didn't actually catch that. Did he try to dive the tower, or just get picked off?
He just got skewered and killed.
Just got skewered.
Yeah, the Scandal just with a really good play.
Damn
and
you,
Bat Rider.
Magnus.
Yeah, Bat Rider actually only went 1 level in Firefly, which is a little odd. Picks up the really, really, really early flame break. I feel like he should be able to pressure more if he had that second level of Firefly.
And Scandal hits level 6, so now you really got to be careful about tower diving if you overextend that reverse polarity. Something you absolutely can just use for a solo kill. Scandal's up to 7 charges. In comes Santa, though, and he's out. He will wand and skewer away, but is it actually far enough? I don't think so. KSI is going to sprout him up, and although he tangos out, it is not in time. A crucial kill off of this. Bounty Hunter gets closer to 6. CRZ, well, I was going to say he's going to get the rune, but won't be able to do so. Catches out Sven. Is going to flame break him back. Maybe I was thinking about trying to flame break him onto the cliff. Instead, is just going to start flying over him with the Firefly. Should be able to cut across the cliff here and maybe catch him off. The Ice Path isn't going to connect, but in comes the Spectre, and all of a sudden, it's CRZ who's overextended. CRZ who's running away, and it's Santa who wants to kill off Mila, or SS. I keep on calling him Mila. SS still running. There's only boots up on the bounty. Now he gets stunned. In fact, a sentry dropped, but no mana for the Stormbolt, or Santa probably would have fallen there. Score is 2-2, but Virtus Pro just all over this middle lane. 3-4 heroes there, constantly trying to pressure, which means Funnick is a little bit safer bottom. And it creates a lot of space top. It's a free farm Spectre, 25-5 already.
Yeah. The issue, though, is that the Furion and the Bounty Hunter are pretty much everywhere on this map, so that's a point of concern that he can kind of turn fights around really quickly, as we saw from bottom and mid. So look to see him kind of be the key hero here, as well as Santa. If they can kind of get kills early together, then it's really going to just kind of snowball them into a mid-game fighting team, which is kind of what Weaver is. He's not that quintessential late game hero. He does a lot of damage in the mid-game once you get 1 or 2 items offensive or defensive. So
he's not really the best late game hero in general, and especially in this game. He's sure they don't have the most single target lockdown for this point of the game, but if he ever gets caught by a reverse polarity in the late game, he's dead. I mean, unless he's way ahead with track gold, there's just no way he can survive. So that's definitely something they don't have, is that late game. But they have the mid game. They've got the way to, the sort of the heroes to spread the map to try and find those pickoffs. Bottom lane, Funnick surges into a disruption and a soul catcher. Now Prophet thinking about a TP. It looks like he may have canceled that in the end. Just gonna sit and farm the threat of that TP. It's also helping to keep the support safe. And Funnick, well, he backs off, but only for the moment. Now surges confidently up the hill. Already up to level 6 and got that early bottle. Trying to control the runes for his team and help out Scandal a little bit. But yeah, just a lot of farming at this point for both teams. Both of them sitting back, and I think both of them are okay with this up to a point. But Virtus Pro, once it gets to like that 10-15 minute mark, they got to start making things happen. They can't just sit back and farm forever. But for the moment, I think it's something they need and something they should be okay with. Yeah,
I mean, they're not able to dive anywhere out. Funnick's doing a nice job of just keeping himself off the map, flitting in and out, making it difficult for the Shadow Demon to really have a presence in the lane. And NS is actually a little bit underleveled, as he's more concerned with kind of keeping Funnick out of the lane than actually picking up levels. But Santa's actually the big hero here. Is he's about to hit level 6, and the lane is pushing top really hard, so this should be his level 6 pretty cleanly. And once he gets it, they just kind of need to ramp up the aggression everywhere.
And they do have the heroes to do it. I guess the one concern is that Batrider's really not had a good start. He's only level 6 as a solo mid. Well, he's actually about to hit 7. It's not that bad, but he's a full level behind the Magnus, which, if anything, you'd expect it to maybe be the opposite at this point. Is he even... What is he doing here? Oh, just going to place a ward. Trying to figure out what was going on, because the rune was not about to spawn, but Sven is there, and I believe SS did spot this, so we'll probably see some dewarding soon. Santa hit 6, and now that clock begins to tick. How many track kills can they find? Can they find any? We'll have to find out. Prophet with the Midas. Not going for anything super early game. No Urn. But we'll probably see him go back for that mech now.
Yeah, I'd anticipate that he's going to be the hero that does it, especially since Shadow Demon doesn't look like he's going to get it anytime soon, and they desperately need one. Scandal's actually going to kind of contest top rune, but CRZ already preemptively fireflying up.
Hey, sometimes that's what you need to do. If you're not having the best time in lane, just guess the rune and hope you get it.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah. Hey,
the
man,
rune's always bottom, though, unless it's top, so...
it's always top. Unless you check it, and then it's bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Then you just get screwed.
Yeah. So it's a rock, a hard place, and a sad blitz. That's pretty much how it works out.
But I'm kind of curious to see Santa's actually just kind of lolling around, picking up levels. I think just because he's getting a decent time at top. Usually you'll see the bounty move up a little sooner than this, but the lane is being pushed towards him, and he does pick up phase boots at a reasonable time, does get the TP as well, so look for some tracks to be getting off any time now.
Oh, maybe even some attempts on Funnick's life, and they go on the bottom lane, but this is a concern. They have one way to actually reliably stop a Surge away, and that's a disruption. Sure, you've got Batrider's Lasso, but until he gets a blink, you really can't count on that. So Funnick could just do really whatever he wants on this bottom lane, whether it's just surging creeps for the hell of it, I guess. Pushing the lane out away from his tower, but shouldn't really matter too much in the end.
They actually have a decent way of stopping his Surge, though, because he hasn't picked up Quelling Blade, he has no tangos, so if Furion can get a good read on where he's going to be surging, they can catch him with the trees still, so he does have to be a little concerned.
Huge engagement middle lane, breaks out, Goblack dropping low. There's your first track kill, in comes the Spectre, drops the ult. Will he actually join the fight? It looks like it was just an intimidation haunt from Spectre, but was that a mistake not to join the fight because now Scandal taking some damage. Airman's diving for this. There's no RP. It was already used at the initiation point of this fight. They want to kill off Santa, but who will die first, Scandal or Santa? Somebody whose name starts with an S will fall, and indeed it is Scandal. In fact, Airman, oh, I think he might have been able to dive that. No, didn't have quite enough mana for 2 Sakuchis, so he will back off. And when it's all said and done, I believe that was 2 track kills.
Yeah, it was. That was a really good trade for them. If you dive a team like VP, though, the issue that they have is the TPs come in, the Furion can be there as well, and if the fight isn't perfect for you, then Santa just gets one track after another, and it's impossible to run away against the kind of lineup they have, especially with the Sakuchi that the Weaver has, and he's doing a really good job here, just kind of coming into the fight a little bit late, once 1 or 2 stuns have gone off, because if he can avoid the Sven stun or the Ice Path...
Oh, Funnick surged right as the lasso was there, and now he runs towards the enemy tower, just waiting for that surge to cool down. We're going to see him run all the way through the trees, up and around, and look to escape, but will he actually be able to get away? The disruption catches him, and it's 4 stacks of poison. Funnick is surrounded, and he gives up, when it's all said and done, a 4-hero track kill. In fact, Airman even wanted a piece of that. He was headed towards the bottom lane. Give me that gold, he says, but no gold for this bug, just for the other 4 heroes. And Virtus Pro, I mean, starting to pull ahead a little bit. You can't give away these 4 or 5 hero track kills, even with the teamfight of Empire, or you're going to make your life really difficult come mid to late game.
Yeah, they're engaging a little bit funny here. The pickoffs are starting to finally happen. Santa's getting really mobile on the map right now. He is still picking up farm here and there, but he's been there every time any sort of fight's broken out, and he's gone to track every time as well. So Empire really has to do a better job of just not getting into these engagements that they just can't possibly hope to win.
This also gets the Batrider closer to his Blink Dagger. He's up to 1,400 gold, so it's coming pretty soon. Bottom lane, Funnick once again running for his life. Santa's almost got a drum, and this is an awfully bounty against a tri-lane with Ice Path and Stormbolt, or Storm Hammered. It's a tough tri-lane. I mean, sure, it wasn't a dominant one because they had a Spectre, but you'd think they could keep the bounty down a little more, but they didn't really control the creep equilibrium perfectly early on. He did some nice pulling of his own. And now he's one of the scariest heroes on the map at this point in the game.
Yeah, they actually need about 2 or 3 heroes to kill him, on top of the fact that they need Dust, which, as every successive or non-successive gank happens, it's going to be more and more expensive for them to get a Dust. Like, the Sven's completely out of mana or money right now, as is Goblack. He does have a Sentry on him, but, you know, they have to go up against 2 Invis heroes here, and if you don't have Dust, or at least 2 Dust on your team, especially for 2 different Invis heroes, then it's going to be impossible to pressure, and the Weaver and both the Bounty feel pretty good about just diving really far in.
You know, one thing we haven't really talked about, and this is sort of what Spectre hopes for, is games where you don't really talk about him, is that he's just been farming away. He's up to 3.2k gold, by far our lead farmer. And it looks like it will be the Radiance Rush. And VP, I believe, has spotted that he hasn't bought anything. Yeah, Blow Your Brain will just dagger away behind the tower. Oh, I think the smoke was revealed at the wrong moment there. Silent is getting caught a little bit out of position. Should drop. Should give up a track kill. He will. In comes Mag searching, fishing for a reverse polarity, but not able to find it. Now on to Santa. Santa's running. The Sentry's there. The RP is too. Vacuum him towards the Sentry Ward. No, sorry. Vacuum was actually not skilled yet. I thought he maybe had already used it, but not needed in the end. Bounty Hunter overextends at the cost of a reverse polarity. Was it worth it? We'll find out if VP can make anything happen. It's Funnick who wants to make something happen now. Oh, in the end, maybe he's in trouble. Spectre's diving for this. Oh, Spectre will hunt the Batrider, even if he goes up the cliff. That's one thing Spectre can look to do, is try and follow him on the path of that dagger. 2 kills, and crucially, Batrider almost had his blink, and he just got picked off.
Yeah, and they actually wasted everything on the Bounty Hunter, which I liked. They used the RP, which I didn't question at all, because if you let a hero like Bounty Hunter live there, and he had a 13 charge wand, then he can just kind of come in, flit around, track, run away, track, run away, and he knows where the sentry's down too, and Sven was down as well, so that was a perfect scenario if he didn't die there, but unfortunately...
Unfortunately, he died.
Pretty much everything, yeah. They did a good job of that, but they still have the farm advantage. That's the one thing that Empire really has solidified. The track kills, they're not completely out of hand yet.
Mid lane, huge engagement. Scandal skewers, but doesn't quite get over the cliff. The bigger question, though, is can they find these track kills? Funnick has another surge. We will use it, and I think he might... Nope, the Shuriken Toss kills him off. Even only 2 points in it. 200 damage for a level 2 nuke. Pretty damn good, if I don't say so myself. Airman, just continue to push this bottom lane. It looks like... I mean, normally, when you see this Ring of Health, it's either a Linken's or it's something like a Hood. I suppose it could be a Vanguard, but not a cost-effective item at all on a ranged carry. I wonder if maybe it's a pipe, because someone's got to build it for this team. I don't know. If he's going back for the Relic, I think that could be a very grave mistake. As Spectre's
I think this is actually going to be a Linken's here. It should definitely be a Linken's here, because the only thing that really stops him here, as long as he's smart about not engaging around Magnus, which I think he is, then the only thing that stops him is the Sven, the Stormhammer. So as long as he can avoid that with the Linken's, and especially because Empire in general is kind of lacking crowd control and a lot of stuns. So if the Stormhammer is being used for the Weaver, and he can Linken's it off, then there goes one of their major disables.
Yeah, of course you can still try and stun someone by stunning a unit next to them, then the Linken's won't block. But that's not reliable by any means. Spectre's real close to that Radiance, and Virtus Pro starting to apply a little more pressure towards this top lane. The nice thing about doing this is not only are they maybe going to get a tower, but they're also stopping him from farming. For the moment, 4 heroes grouped up, drums complete on the bounty, and there will be an ice path to start this off. Already Goblak is tracked, TPing is the mag, but no, RP is up. And he's got the blink now too. Gets it around the same time as the Batrider. Speaking of Batrider, he's got the vision from track. This really fuels the aggression. Who do they go on here? They're going to start on nobody. Doesn't actually get the lasso off. Now out comes the Spectral, at least ushering them away, maybe costing them their lives. NS trying to run, disrupts, and then Soul Catcher's Funnick, but Funnick doesn't care. He's chasing. Blow Your Brain has got to be the target. They got to at least kill him off. They will do so. And now Airman, although Dusted, is looking pretty damn tanky. Chaotic team fights seem to be favoring the team that's got the bounty, that has the Weaver. But will it be quite sufficient? We'll find out momentarily. CRZ still running from Funnick. Funnick just trying to chase everyone down with that Ion Shell. The chain stun from Airman. On to Airman, but the disruption is there. And no, not able to get away. Perfectly timed. Just too much AoE, even though he was low and was disrupted, just not able to survive. CRZ is going to have to run to the enemy base, waiting for that TP mana to come. Now he TPs to safety, but will it be in time? No, it won't. Oh. Jeez.
I really liked what he was trying to do there. He thought that Empire had created enough space, but Scandal gets a really nice blink off at the max distance, and he catches him at the end of the skewer as well.
Hero Scandal. And although Spectre died, I think that's a fight that Empire will be okay with overall. Not really that many track kills, if any, that I caught.
I think he got one off. They did get the kill on Blow.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
But aside from that, I mean, the damage was relatively minimal. Blow is still getting kind of close to that Radiance, and once he picks up the Radiance, his farm's just going to kind of ramp up, and his teamfight presence is going to get huge now with the new Haunt.
Right, I mean, especially with, you know, whether it's Radiance, really whatever you go for, you're guaranteed to get that burn damage the full duration, but you can join the fight immediately if you just need to finish someone off quickly, so it just gives you more options. Even if you just pop a Haunt to scare the enemy team back. Virtus Pro, do they have a mech? Do they have a pipe yet? They have the mech on the Prophet. I still think they need a pipe. I mean, they're up against a lot of mid-game nuke damage. Who's going to build it, though? I guess the Prophet. Maybe they go on to SS on the top lane. He's tracked. 3 heroes going to get more track gold. The hits just keep on coming. VP, they're trading blows pretty admirably here. And keeping the pressure up, which is exactly what they need to do. Now they want Goblak. They need to get a track off to really make this a worthwhile kill. Will they get the track off? No, they go on to Scandal instead. RP's cooling down. Get him up on the cliff. That's the objective here. Now chasing on Scandal. He's got a double damage rune. One more Sakuchi will be sufficient. He's got RP. He will RP. Oh, Airman. Has he overextended the mech from Prophet, trying to provide some medical assistance? not enough. And in the end, Mag dies and blows the RP, and they all get out safely. Well-orchestrated team fight from VP, and it looked really bad there. Got the time-lapse off at pretty much the last possible second. Will live in the end.
Yeah, that was just a really, really good fight. They don't have any CC again, or stuns for the Weaver. Sorry to say CC. They don't have any stuns available for the Weaver aside from the reverse polarity and the Stormhammer there. So there's really nothing to stop him from just kind of diving in, and they're doing a really good job of spreading, so Scandal doesn't really get any good ults off. Like, at the fight at top, there just was nothing for them.
This is sloppy by Empire. They're initiating into 5 heroes. They don't have the full team yet. RP is not available. The Mag's still dead. It's still on cooldown anyway. They give up a kill on the Sven, and I believe that was also a track kill. And this one, it's starting to spiral a little bit. Now Weaver pretty much has his Lincoln Sphere, and it's under 20 minutes. And he didn't rush it either. He got the treads. He got through into Basilius. The aggressive wards go out as well, which makes it more dangerous when you're up against Bounty, Bat, and Prophet. These great mobile heroes who can just show up out of nowhere. It's a little scary for Empire right now, and I think, although they still got that scary late-game team fight, they're not out of it. They got to tighten the bolts here a little bit. Can't keep on giving up quite so many kills.
Yeah, it's just really difficult, though, for Empire to get any sort of fights going. They really rely on that AoE, but with Track going off, Firefly, Fury on TPing in, Weaver just ulting.
Yeah, it's I mean, like you said, it's hard. The Spectre needs help. He can't just be farming top by himself, and we are seeing the one... You know, the downside of that Radiance Rush is you're still very squishy. Sure, you have a lot of offensive firepower, you can farm really quickly, but you gotta figure VP's gonna keep the aggression up, so maybe this is a game we're going for something like the early, you know, Vitality Booster into a Diffusal Blade would have been the safer route. He's got the Radiance now. That's step 1, but step 2, this is the hard part. Somehow farming up an item to survive, to live through the lasso, to be able to buy back and actually have illusions that tank for a little bit and do something. Can he get there? We'll see, but definitely Empire on the back foot. Just look at where they are in the lanes. They're barely leaving the base.
Yeah, it's actually going to be really difficult for Empire to leave the base with a hero like Bounty up. They don't have enough money for sentries to keep him kind of off his toes, and they don't have enough money for dust as well. So it's just difficult in general for them to get any sort of foothold out on the map. So Spectre does, it's kind of like a catch-22. Like, Spectre needs to risk it, but at the same time, just because they have such mobile heroes, like Bounty Hunter, you don't really know where he is on the map, and Furion can TP in instantly. And just the combination of those two can get a kill, it's really difficult for the Spectre to get any sort of farm out.
But he needs it. I mean, he, like you said, he's got to.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to take risks. Like, going bottom here is a good idea, but at the same time, he doesn't know, like, 100% if the Bounty's just, like, waiting behind him. Well, he does because Santa's at the top for once, but...
Yeah, rare moment where Santa's on the map. That's just not something we've seen much this game.
So Blow has to take some risks here with farming, but at the same time, it's just so easy for them to kill him because he decided to go straight for the Radiance.
Oh, that was a 4-hero track kill, I believe. Now they want to go in SS just one by one. Virtus Pro looking for some opportunities, but it's an RP. Where is that medical assistance? There you go. Now skewering the back away from the rest of his team. Try to bring them to safety. Spectre did use the ult, joins the fight, and now forced to run. He looks to be dead. Oh, just barely whiffing on the flame break. Spectre's so damn fast. Are they going to chase this to the fountain? They are. They won in. Blow one's out. Blow will not get out, though, and Prophet may be going to pay for his insolence, but that was totally worth it if I don't say so myself. Well, maybe not if everybody dies. That Stormbolt just chased. Oh, Batrider blinked away, but of course Stormhammer will follow you. Doesn't matter. They give up the Prophet, but they get yet another kill on the Spectre, and trading always going to be in your favor when you've got a bounty. Things looking good for VP right now.
Yeah, did you actually see how indifferent that Weaver was? He actually just ran through a T3 with like 3 heroes behind him and just didn't care because he knew he was going to get out no matter what. He's got 1100 HP, he has the time-lapse, and he has the Lincolns now, and if he switches to Strength Treads and he pops his wand as well, it just makes him kind of impossible to kill.
And like you know, especially when the reverse polarity is down, because sure, you've got Stormbolt, but you can't stun him with it, because he's got the Lincoln, so then they have no way to deal with him. And, I mean, it's just such a good item for this situation. In other games, could do nothing for you, but in this game, does everything you need. Although the vacuum might turn things around, sets up a really nice Stormbolt, but the mech this damn mech. This is too... I gotta say, Mechanism is my MVP of both of these games, however they turn out. It has been such a difference maker. The chase continues on to Funnick. He will get picked off. That was a 5-hero track kill. Now they want another on Goblek, and they just keep on falling. Virtus Pro is overwhelming Empire, just bullying them, diving them at the base, forcing them back, picking up 3 kills there. The tower soon to follow. You know, and Blitz, we said if they were going to win, Virtus Pro had to do it like this. They couldn't sit back and farm. They couldn't let it get to the mid to late game. They couldn't let Blow Your Brain get a Radiance and another item up. They couldn't wait until that big wall reverse polarity combo happened. But they're doing it. I mean, they're making all the right decisions, the aggressive wards, the smart item selection, getting that quick mech and urn just to fuel the aggression on the Prophet. Everything they're doing is very well thought out, and it's working beautifully.
Yeah, I thought the Weaver was going to be impossible to kill, but it's even more difficult than that, because NS is doing a really good job of slightly hanging back. So when all the stuns go off on Airman, he just disrupts him, and then he'll always get the time lapse off. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, the synergy of this lineup is just working out so well for them. There's a lot of aggression, counter-aggression, they have presence on the map, and I think Spectre was kind of a bad pick here because, as we said, he's a really good late game carry, but you really, really need at least a minimum of 1 tanky item and the Radiance to be useful. And how is he going to get the next item that he needs just be in the fights? He only has 1,000 gold. He had a 12-minute relic, I think, with phase boots. And since then, he's picked up his Radiance and has 1,100 gold 12 minutes later.
I mean, I really do feel things would have been a bit... I don't think it's the right item build for this game. For me, I would have rather seen a Vitality Booster and then a Diffusal Blade, which is about the same cost, if not a bit less than a Radiance. The Radiance, I mean, in some games it's the perfect item on Spectre, but this game, you know, he needed to fight early to mid-game. That's something we've been talking about, and we're seeing really the cost. I mean, the Spectre's item selection, not the only factor in this game. It's just, you know, the hero itself already not really that combat-worthy until, like, that 30 to 40-minute mark, and then especially the build he's gone for. It delays things if you don't have a good start, and if you don't continue to farm after that good start. And now VP just living in the enemy jungle, farming pretty much all 3 lanes and the enemy jungle simultaneously. And Empire just hoping for them to make a mistake. It just doesn't seem like they can leave the base at this point, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, things are just a little too scary with Santa on the map. He's actually picked up his BKB. He's going for a Deso now. At this point, he can pretty much just kill any of the supports one-on-one and pick up free track money. Airman just has no fear. He has the Aegis now as well.
And a Demon Edge. I mean, this is... Now he's going to start hurting quite a bit.
Yeah, so things just get worse. Excellent. And they don't have the bounty, a hero like Bounty Hunter for Empire to kind of catch up. The only way that they can really engage this fight is if they get a really nice Vacuum off, a really nice Stormhammer, the mag reverse polarities at the same time, and they have to catch pretty much everyone in it. Because if they don't get the Shadow Demon, then the Shadow Demon just disrupts one of the key heroes, and he'll save them. Or if he doesn't get the Weaver in it, they have no way of killing him. So just too many things have to go completely right for Virtus Pro to lose this.
Here's my question. Will we actually even see Virtus Pro group up as 5 near the enemy base for the next 10-15 minutes? I feel like we're just going to see them farm all 3 lanes, farm the enemy jungle, and if Empire leave the base, then they come in with the bounty, with the Blink Batrider, who's now got a 4-staff and... Oh, wow. And 4k gold, by the way. Oh, man. I mean, there's whatever you want. Your Heart, your Pipe, your Shivas. It's all gravy for him, but... yeah, I just think VP are going to split push this one, and they have the map control to do it. I think it's up to Empire to find a way out of this contain.
Yeah, Furion's actually going to pick up, or not Furion, Nature's Prophet's going to pick up a sheep here in a second too. Does he have it? Yeah, he's actually got his sheep stick up as well, so things just kind of pile on top of that, because the Spectre can't live as it is, and once he gets sheep, I think he's just going to get blown up immediately.
There's the Haunt. He wanted to disable that Blink Dagger, but all they're going to catch, it looks like, is the Shadow Demon. For a Haunt, for a 5-hero chase, I don't think it's too bad of a trade. Now Santa joins the fight, runs directly into 5 heroes. Man, he is ballsy. And in fact, they're all ballsy. They want Scandal. They pull him up onto the cliff, onto the high ground, then forcing him back. If they can bring him down, that would be huge. The reverse polarity will go out, only catching Santa, who was BKB'd and doing very little towards him. Now SS trying to kill Furion, but barely scratching him at that. Meanwhile, on the back lines of play, Batrider falls, Bounty falls, Gem on the floor. The mag dropped that one, picked up by Empire. 3 heroes dead, but oh, bottom lane, there you go. That's why the fight went so well for Empire. Virtus Pro, Airman solo pushing down to tier 3 and now threatening to ban away on the Rex.
Yeah, I actually really liked what Empire did there. Airman wasn't in any position to come help, and Empire said, well, we're going to lose the game if we're just kind of stuck in our base. So they kind of just went for that furious burst of aggression, and I don't think VP was necessarily prepared to handle that, but at the same time, the Weaver does pick up another tower, so they're able to pressure even more. So if Empire decides to try to push somehow, then the Fury or the Nature's Prophet can kind of just TP in and pressure the bottom lane. Or he can go top or mid, it doesn't really matter at this point.
And God forbid anybody gets boots of travel, whether it's the Batrider or the Darks, or the Weaver, then suddenly you're looking at, getting a quick pick, and then the Rex will fall. There's just no way to deal with it. MKB up on the Weaver. They say, screw it. We know your reverse polarity is on cooldown. We're going to 5-man straight up the bottom lane, and there ain't a thing you can do about it. Also, the Aegis going to expire fairly soon. Blow Your Brain does get purged, and now Weaver in the middle of the fight, just ducking and diving, bobbing and weaving. Not getting picked up yet, but will be Ice Path. Aegis will expire. I think he's A-okay with that as long as he lives to fight at the second round here. Can he do so? He's going to Sakuchi away. Now in comes the Bounty Hunter. What a tanky, manly Bounty Hunter at that, chasing back Scandal. They just want to get this damn Rax, but Empire just tanking, surviving, and now maybe looking to turn this fight around. The BKB's on cooldown for Santa. 3-hero vacuum. Not quite the amount of follow-up you want. And I just don't know if this... Oh, dodges the Stormbolt, actually, with that Invis, with the Shadow Walk. And now jumping in. Here we go, Batrider pulls back the Sven. Sven just melting. That support Sven. Just such a different beast for parry Sven. Not really scary at all. Weaver running for his life. In comes the RP. Catches 3. Where there is RP, there is always a chance, but there's also a mechanism, and there is still skit. Santu's doing a good amount of damage. I think maybe you just go for the Rex here. Oh, they want the Spectre. He's low. He's trying to survive, but he won't be able to. Goes down. Track wasn't there, but nonetheless, they get the kill. Now, thinking about diving this, Prophet bought back, TP'd into the middle of that fight, and now trying to run away. In fact, it's a fight going the other way again. This fight just won't end. I feel like I'm on a merry-go-round here. No idea where it's going to let me off just yet. Batrider, I didn't even know you could go there. He's in the lava. He will TP away. When it's all said and done, the Rex live.
Yeah, the product of that fight was that Virtus Pro thought that they absolutely couldn't lose no matter what. So they pretty much just engaged 3v5 while the Batrider was like here. So there was no way for them to get into a straight 5v5. I think they're just way too overconfident there. Scandal was tracked, but manages to somehow get a 3-man reverse polarity off. That was pretty amazing, and they had to blow way too much to kill the Sven, who's pretty tanky now. Sven doing a good job here, picking up 2 bracers and the strength treads. They know that he's kind of a big hero just because the Storm Hammer is like one of their only big CC spells, or stuns. So they're trying to get him out of the way quickly, but he has max Warcry and he's got 1500 HP, and they just don't have any burst damage.
CC spells, Blitz, I should never cast with you again. You're a disgrace.
I love you.
Just kidding. Oh, but I still feel like Virtus Pro should just be split pushing this. They went for the group up. They knew the RP was down. But Empire's just so strong as a 5-man squad. It's not just the big AoE team fight, it's just AoE stuns in general. Whether it's the Stormhammer, whether it's the Ice Path. Sure, the Weaver's hard to lock down. Sure, you've got a BKB on the Bounty, but that's not really that long duration anymore. Well, 8 seconds, still pretty decent. I think they're better just, get that next level of items, then go for the fight. Spectre still doesn't have a thing. Just sit on a Vitality booster. Is there anything on the Courier?
He's got a Reaver. He's got a Reaver, I think. Wait, what?
Did the Courier die with the Reaver on it?
Yeah, wait. What? Where does money go? Okay, I think the Courier died.
Yeah,
Because he had 3,200 gold.
Oh, I think they sniped the Courier when it was returning with the Reaver. Oh, that's a pretty big play. Sorry I missed that one, guys, but at least we caught it now. Here comes the split push, though. Weaver in one lane, a couple heroes in another. They're all thinking about grouping up bottom. I don't really like this, but maybe they're not really committing because top lane is Prophet. Split push, that's the way to go for me. Why group up and risk a big RP, risk a big Ice Path if you don't have to? Santa just ducking in and out, but not really committing yet. Now KSI leaves the top lane. Well, they're not quite doing as much, but it does look like they're ultimately just kind of committing to this split push. We see one hero mid, one hero generally top. Oh, they catch out Airman. That was a creep stun. They vacuumed him next to a creep and stunned the creep, so the Lincolns couldn't do a thing. I think that reverse polarity just whiffed, and now the TP out. So RPM cooldown, now top lane. Here comes the whack-a-mole style. That's how Virtus Pro want to try and secure this win. If they could do it, they need this win when they drop to the lower bracket. This is, of course, your game number 2. Wow, that was such a sick play by Sven and Darkseer. What teamwork from Empire.
Yeah, and also the Shadow Demon missed his disruption, actually catching the mag instead. I don't blame him because it was just a cluster of heroes, but Empire just doing a really good job of turtling up. They're forcing engagements, making VP get cocky. I really like the fact that when they did get offensive there, they did pick up some free kills. They didn't lose anything. I think VP is just getting a little too sloppy, not playing 5-man when they should have. The fight over here, if the Weaver was there, I think that would have been almost a team wipe, like certainly. And the fact that they engaged the fight over here 4v5 and just kind of bought back and started diving heroes one by one have made things kind of difficult for them as well. I actually really like the Sven's build. Do you see what he's doing? He's just trying to stack up as much cheap armor and HP as he can so he can live throughout the fights for as long as possible so he gets as many stuns off as he can.
Well, I mean, any damage that he soaks up as damage the rest of the team probably isn't taking, and that's... If you look at this VP squad, it's pretty much all single target. There's no real collateral damage from them, so if you're not if you're attacking Sven, you're pretty much not attacking anyone else. Scythe of Ice up on KSI, but they've got to find the pickoffs. Empire, it's the bend but don't break philosophy and style for them, and so far, it seems to be working.
Yeah, and the heart's actually going to get picked up here too, which is absolutely huge. That's something that we can't really bypass. They're having a difficult time killing the Spectre as is. They don't really have that much burst damage, and they're doing a really good job of focusing the Weaver, who they put all the damage on. So once Blow Your Brain gets his heart, it's going to be really, really difficult for them to take him down, and he's going to be doing so much damage just with the Radiance, the Dispersion, the Desolate. Like, at this point, he's just become too big to ignore. And I like what Empire's doing here as well. Smoking, they send the Spectre top, so you can kind of clear out the wave, and they don't really suspect anything, but at the same time, Empire's just going to get really, really aggressive here.
Yeah, and of course Spectre can join this fight at any moment. He's going to scout out the entire enemy team, but can they actually turn this into an initiation? Doesn't look like it just yet. SS coming up the hill. Everybody just dodging away. Oh, they do oh, Spectre actually haunted in to kill off NS. He will kill him off, gets purged. That's okay. Normally this is where you just want to be split pushing and trying to draw Empire back. They're actually going to lasso the Spectre. Not really to here. You want to focus RP, not actually cast there. Just the casting animation that cancels it at the last moment. In comes Santa in the middle of 4 heroes. Once again, the RP just for Santa. Some serious hate on him. But Empire just won't die with that Warcry up. Everyone's so tanky. Triple for Blow, and it's just falling apart for Virtus Pro now. 5 heroes alive. Everybody's so low. Or sorry, 4 heroes alive. Now down to 3, but Weaver's going to pay for his insolence. He just had time lapse, but not able to cast it in time. Dies to that last Desolate auto attack, and now this is going to be a tier 1. And one thing we did talk about earlier was, because Empire didn't actually get that many towers early, when they win fights now, they get a lot of gold off of those fights. Tier 1, actually no, they're not going to get the tier 1, just backing off in the end.
Yeah, and here's kind of where we see the strength of Spectre. He does nothing for the entire game. Then once he picks up his heart, it's like, well, we can't kill him. As you saw the Battle Rider go and initiate on him, but you can't really ignore him anymore either, just because he puts out so much damage just by being there. Like, his simple presence alone is enough to, like, win fights. So that's kind of just how the hero operates. He's only going to get stronger from this point out. He's got 2,300 gold now. How do they kill him? Like, I honestly have no idea. They can't kill him now with the heart, and it's only going to get worse, especially if he decides to pick up an item like Manta.
And especially with that, especially because he's got Empower. I mean, he hits really hard. Like, because he's got Empower and he's Spectre, he's already got Desolate, and does a lot of damage if you focus him. And like you said, it's a hero that if he gets big, you can't ignore him because he's doing a lot of damage, and you can't focus him because he's got Dispersion and he's got a lot of tank items. So there's just really no obvious solution. This is one of those games where you can be up 25k gold, and like we talked about, it's never over because of the hero composition. And then comes CRC, but he's surrounded by the entire enemy squad. Will be focused down. Meanwhile, it's Spectre killing off the Aegis Weaver, then looking to just get the hell out of there. Blow might die. He does have buyback, so not the biggest kill, but his ult's on cooldown. In comes Mag. Once again, just Santa. Reverse polarity, only ever for Santa. Santa can't be happy. Runs back into a Stormbolt, figuring he's dead anyway, I suppose. Now Weaver trying to book it out of there. Blow Your Brain did buy back. Now Weaver time lapses away, and then Sakuchi's the other direction. And just gonna keep on running. Can he get out of here safely, though? There's a gem up on Darkseer. Darkseer can pretty much keep up. In fact, he's got a blink as well. He'll blink forward, then vacuum Airman back, but by himself cannot kill him off. Now the dagger chasing that Spectre, chasing that Weaver to the ends of the earth. But it's not really the Weaver they want. I think most likely gonna be able to kill off these supports or nothing at all. Well, in the end, are they going to go in here? Really? Santa thinks about it. VP, it just feels like they're all trying to make something happen individually. First the Bat Rider, now the Bounty, and that's just not going to work when it's a 5-man death ball from Empire. At least it's not working so far.
And I think they're actually might be able to pick off Santa. No, they're going to go back in on him, but I feel like Santa should just kind of run here. He's only got 150 health.
Maybe this is a good fight. In comes the Prophet, and Blow Your Brains dropping low. Those bugs are eating away, as well as the Soul Catcher. One of the best ways to just chew through his armor. Weaver wants to finish the job. No skewer from Scandal actually works out pretty well at the end. And by the way, that Spectre just bought back. He's dead for 4 minutes. Oh man, what a topsy-turvy whirlwind of a game. And now they're in prime position to get 1 lane of Rex, possibly 2. There is an RP in 10 seconds, and there is still a scary team fight. Oh no, this is that scary team fight. Actually not going to be quite sufficient to kill off the Weaver. That's the key hero. If you don't kill him, he can ruin the rest, probably. Or maybe he can't, because Scandal's there. Even without the Spectre there, just cleaning up. Prophet's still alive, though. Scandal might fall. Well, actually, 5 heroes dead. And without the Weaver, do they have the damage to quickly get 2 lanes of action? Oh, they do. Santa's joined the fight. Rejoin the fight, rather. Funnick coming into the middle of 3. He's got the Ghost Scepter coin down in 5, but will it be in time? I don't think he'll get it off. He will die. Now SS gonna die after VP showing some signs of falling apart. It's Empire who's really crumbling, much like some Empires have in the past. Ultra kill for KSI. And VP with 5 heroes dead, and let's check it. 0 with buyback. In prime position to take 2, 3 lanes of Rex. Just when you thought Empire was coming into their own, they crumble.
I am so blown away right now by what just happened. So one team, Virtus Pro, thought they had a huge lead in the beginning, and then they overestimated it and they started diving. And then Empire kind of caught up, and then they just started overextending a little bit and overestimating the kind of lead they had. And because all their lanes are so pushed in, they just kind of lose the game now. They're going to lose so much out of this fight now.
And KSI doesn't really care if he dies, which he won't. They get 2 lanes of Rex. Santa wants to finish the range. And you're up against... I mean, I feel like the only way Empire can win this now is if they get a team wipe and there's no buybacks, because they're going to get sieged to death otherwise by that Prophet, by the split push of the Weaver. And, well, we'll see if that I mean, we've seen some big turnarounds, but this would be the biggest one yet. If Empire can turn this around, much bigger than anything else we've seen from either team so far this game.
Yeah, there's not much that Empire can really do here. The Furion, or the Nature's Prophets, picked up an AC, and he's got... he just actually picked up another item right now.
I love
he's getting an
I love
MKB
this
as
pickup,
well.
by the way.
The MKB or the AC?
MKB or the AC. Oh, I love the AC on the Prophet. Just, it's the perfect item to help you push, and it also really helps you deal with the physical damage from Empire, which is mostly what they're dishing out at this point in the game. It's a smart item pickup.
Yeah, he's going to be 6-slotted right now. At 41 minutes. The Dynamitis is a little...
Is this going to be that big fight that Empire needed? Reverse Polarity was used, but KSI still very healthy. Weaver has a double damage rune and just absolutely chopping up everyone. Wow, look at the magic damage, but it's not enough. Goblack going to fall next. Track on the Funnick. Finish the job, says Virtus Pro. Let's get these Rex. No more bounce diving. No more chasing and overextending. We just want to win this game and force a game number 3. GG with a capital GG, well played from Goblack, and Virtus Pro strike back in game number 2. Will the Empire strike back in game 3? Well, that would be kind of out of sequence, numerically speaking, but anything is possible.
Yeah, things have just kind of gone back and forth. Virtus Pro really showing that they're a team to be reckoned with. They did kind of get a little bit outplayed the first game. I think they played too defensively the first game, and they were like, nope, not going to do that again. And they just kind of ramped up the aggression on Empire, and Empire just kind of let them with heroes like Spectre that just require a lot of farm, support Sven. They just didn't really have a lot going for them in the early game.
How quickly the tides turn. What a roller coaster of a game. Oh man. I mean, the gold graph really doesn't reflect it, because it did look like, I just saw the very at tail end of it, it did look like VP were just solidly ahead all game, and in some sense they were, but all the momentum was on Empire's side, and then in a moment, in a flash, it was gone. Guys, this was game number 2 of your StarLadder Season 4 winner bracket, round 1 match. This is your second match of round 1. As we look at the brackets real quickly, the winner of this match will go on to face Na'Vi, who did defeat Fnatic 2-0 rather handily, and move on to the winner bracket finals. The loser drops down to face Fnatic. Game 3, the deciding game number 3, coming up soon. I'm LD. I'm joined here today by Blitz. If you guys enjoy his casting, be sure to follow him. Twitter.com/Blitz_Dota, is it?
Yeah, some Russian guy took Blitz Dota, so don't follow him.
Those bastard Russians. Just kidding. Russians are awesome. Russians and Ukrainians. That's why we have this tournament. So huge shout out to StarLadder for making this all possible. But Blitz, thanks for joining me. I hope you'll be here for Game 3. Guys, stay tuned. That Game 3 coming up soon.